my situation was so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even get to my relationship with my mother in this conversation. She knew what was going on the entire time. So me as a child in that situation, I didn't have any ally. I would say that if you are talking to a child in that situation, um, you would have to let them know that you believe them. I say that for anybody that is suffering abuse. And if they build up the strength to even tell you what is going on or hit you, and you have to first and foremost let them know that you believe them, because the psychological space during that time, especially when you have your parents telling you that this is the right thing and you haven't even really developed the difference between right and wrong, but you
Mm-hmm.
know in your heart, and that was me. I knew in my heart. I mean, my father was hurting me physically. So, but he's telling me that this is what's supposed to happen to me. And then I have my mom rubber stamping that. So it was difficult to make decision. Well, who do I tell? Or could I tell anybody? Or is this even really wrong? So if any adult is to come across a child that is hinting to them or sharing with them that something is happening to them, you have to believe them. You have to let them know that you believe them. And then the steps really depends on the situation at the time. Who else is that child in contact with? Who can be trusted? If it's a doctor or a teacher or an aunt or an uncle, and really let those people know to try to develop more communication. Now, if it's an adult, let's say in the case of domestic violence, then I could only look back on well, no, it's not that I can only look back on, but I use myself as an example. I would want someone to, one, yes, believe me, to at least seem like that they have some form of understanding, and then gives me resources. And that's what Precious Little Ladies does. Like, well, it takes 7 times, at least 7 times. The statistics show that it takes at least 7 times for a woman to successfully leave an abuser. And that's a decision she has to come to herself. You can't force or convince a woman force somebody to leave their abuser, because, they're not necessarily in the state of mind. They may see you as an attacker or may see you as somebody that don't understand. So information and education. And I think for me, when I did finally stand up to my father, that's what it was. I had information and I started being educated on the system and what resources was available to me. So it's really about just letting a survivor, or at this time a victim, know that, you are a hand that they could grab onto. I think that's the best thing that we can do. It's a complicated situation. And yes, it does depend on the situation. And I just recommend everybody to just educate themselves as much as possible. But a lot of adults do not believe children who tell them that they're being abused.